All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It's a little bit later than I normally do these, and obviously the lighting is amazing, so everything's going great. If you are wondering, as some people might be, why I wear my glasses now, it's because I went to the eye doctor and they said if I continue to wear contacts all the time, I will have scarring on my eyeball, and I don't want that to happen. So, glasses. So, a few things I want to touch on before I really get into the video. I want to talk about last week's video where I talked about Mania by Fall Out Boy. 100% I slept on Last of the Real Ones as my favorite song off that album. Now it's my favorite song off of that album. Just wanted to get that out of the way before I got into everything. So, I'm going to take out the headphones. So, as you can tell from the title, today's video is about Lana Del Rey and the show I went to last night. I This was my third Lana Del Rey show, and I did have a good time, and Lana was amazing as always. However, with Lana Del Rey shows, there's always this fundamental problem with how certain members of the audience are acting, and it's not really something that has improved drastically. I will say, and I'll get into this in a minute, that there has been a big improvement since my first Lana Del Rey show to the one I just saw last night. So let's go back in time. I think it was 2013, the first time I saw Lana Del Rey. It was in Seattle. It was amazing, but I did make a video about how it was a really particularly violent show. And before you say anything, I'm not really someone who is sensitive about being pushed at concerts. I've gone to a lot of rock shows, a lot of I don't know what punk shows. Brody Doll, I went to see her. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. That's what another video said. I don't know. But being pushed isn't the issue. It's being shoved violently to the point where people were passing out left and right. Like I told this story in my video, but there was a little girl in front of me. Little, she looked really young. I don't know how old she was, but at one point she looked back at me with this look of panic on her face and just collapsed into my arms, and we had to carry her out of there. There is no reason that should happen. There's especially no reason that should happen at a Lana Del Rey show. And I don't know what it is about her, but the people who go to see her, most of them are fine. But I know, Greta was saying this is crazy. Yeah. Uh, it has improved, I will say, because I did see her last night. The crowd improved in the sense that they are not as pushy anymore. Like, I was so nervous about doing GA after that experience I just mentioned, and it wasn't as bad. I was probably 10 rows back, and there was not really that pushing to the point where we were all shoved in together like my first show. Like it got so bad to the point where security was passing out water bottles because I think they were really concerned about us. Like Father John Misty, who was Lana's opener the first time I saw her, you can tell that he was a little bit annoyed, and why wouldn't he be? Because people were rude, screaming, not listening, talking over him. And after he came on, Lana's manager, I think it was, the tour manager came out and said, if you guys don't get it together, Lana's not coming out. That's how bad it was. And he made us all take steps back because you can't, we can't all fit in the front row. So it was pretty brutal. The second time I saw her, it was I think 2015, I want to say. It was at an amphitheater, so it was definitely a different vibe, and I had lawn seats. So if you've never been to a show at an amphitheater, generally there's kind of a pit in the front, right by the stage, where it might be standing room. Then there's a lot of seated areas, and then after that in the back there's a lawn area where you can bring blankets and stuff and just sit and relax. That was a lot more calm because I was on the lawn seat. I was a lot further back. I didn't really have to deal with the nonsense. There were some issues with some girls screaming and singing loudly. And before you think I'm saying something that I'm not, I definitely understand why people are loud and sing and have fun. That's not necessarily the issue, but the issue was so highlighted at the show I went to last night where people would not shut up. Why did we all pay a lot of money to go see Lana when you're just going to scream the whole time. Screaming was the least annoying thing that happened, shockingly, but a lot of people were just talking and having their own conversations the whole time. Like this couple next to me who was the girl should not have been there. She was drinking a lot. And before the show, before the opener even started, she was like swaying and like looking at her boyfriend. And he was like, "Do you want to leave?" And she was like, "No, I'm staying. This is my show." And I'm like, I get it, but you got to take care of yourself sometimes. She eventually threw up on, uh, on people. But yeah, no, I hate it when they won't shut up too. Like screaming, being excited, that's fine, but they would not shut up. She got her guitar and she was playing a song, and Lana with the guitar is not something we see that often. I was really excited. People kept screaming, and I don't know, like, go to my Instagram stories. I posted videos without looking at them later, so I don't know what you can hear, but they were just screaming and screaming things at her. There was not a moment where I could just listen to her in peace. It was really annoying. There was this group in front of me that were just having their own conversation and were talking and laughing while she was singing. Why did you spend $125 for GA at Lana if you're just going to talk the whole time? Like the people, there was these three girls in front of me who I got there probably 10 minutes after the door opened and I was 10 rows back. I was not complaining. I got there late. That's the seat I earned, I guess is how I look at it. And these three girls just pushed past after the opener. They were shoving everyone. And one girl went ahead and then she like turned and came back to her friends. And they're like, "What happened? What happened?" And she's like, "They wouldn't let me up. People were swearing at me. People are so mean." I'm like, "No, you can't just show up at the end and decide that you deserve to be in the front." I don't know if I'm just really like particular about concert etiquette, but I firmly believe that you cannot do that. You can't just shove your way past people because you do not deserve to be in the front more than a single other person here. And I don't know. I would love to be in the front. I would love to be at the barricade, but that's what it is. You don't you don't deserve to be in the front more than everyone else behind you, especially if you show up late. People were not rude to the opener. I was a little worried because on Reddit, people were saying people would talk through the opener set, and maybe at other points in the venue, people did. But where I was, people were generally polite, which was really nice to see. There was one guy who was the boyfriend of the girl who threw up. This guy kept yelling Lana during the opener. The opener was not Lana. So I thought that was pretty rude. But that was just my experience. Definitely a more vocally rude crowd, but not as violent. So that's definitely a plus. I don't know what it is. Like, everyone has been posting these experiences where they're like, it was great, but the crowd was annoying. Greta's saying, I think Lana should say something to those crazy fans of hers. They will only listen to her. I think so, but I also don't know I don't know what you could say. Um, I don't know. It was such an interesting experience because I wish she would just be like, maybe I'm just like old or old fashioned or something. But I really think that if you pay that much money to go to a concert, you should sing and you should dance and you should be excited, but you shouldn't scream the entire time. Like, you should respect the person you're seeing enough to let them sing. That's how I feel about it. I don't know. Am I overreacting? It's very possible. It's just how I feel about it. I think you should be polite to the person you're seeing. And Lana, like, this has always shocked me because Lana's music is not music that you would expect people to scream and like be violent to. It's very calming, I find. Like, her music's beautiful, but yeah, I don't know. The crowd was honestly terrible. Someone posted on Reddit that the crowd, like, they had a great time, and I commented saying what experiences I just mentioned, like the girl throwing up. That girl that threw up and her boyfriend, who was also loud, they were arguing because he did not believe that nosebleed seats were called nosebleed seats. He was like, he called them like nose grinder seats. I'm like, what is going on? I just want to listen to Lana. But so I guess we can talk about how great Lana was rather than complaining about the crowd the whole time. Lana was amazing, as always. I think that this, like, as much as I hated the crowd, I think Lana was amazing, and I think this performance of hers was my favorite. Greta's saying, honestly, those super aggressive fans always ruin the experience for me. And I definitely think so, because as I said, Lana was amazing. I had an amazing time. However, like, I don't want people to scream in my ear. I also don't want people to smoke weed in my face. I'm not opposed to that, and I think weed should be legal, but like I don't want smoke blown in my face regardless of what substance it is. So I was kind of annoyed, but Lana was beautiful, guys. Like she was amazing. I love her short hair. Um, Lana is so confident on stage. She wasn't in the beginning of her career. Totally. Like honestly, the first time I saw Lana, um, oh, not live, but it was the SNL performance. Like I watched that live and I was like, "Oh my gosh, who is this? Why is she so bad?" And then I found like, smaller performances and stuff like that. She's amazing live. She's so like happy on stage and she's so funny and just sweet and beautiful. I love her short hair. I love her style this tour. It's so pretty. Like she started with 13 Beaches. That was the first track. Let's see if I can remember the set list. The SNL performance was really hard to watch. Yeah. I haven't watched it since it was live, I think. I just don't want to relive that. But she's so good now, and you can tell she's just more comfortable. Like she was always this vocally talented, but you can tell she's more comfortable now, which is really nice to see. And it looks like she's just having more fun with it, and she just feels a lot more comfortable. So she started with 13 Beaches. I think she played something else, and then Cherry. I don't remember. Greta's saying, I think she made this SNL performance so catastrophic on purpose. I don't I don't know. It like worked out for her that it was bad, I guess, because people talked a lot about her and that's how I discovered her music. I don't know. Like that's kind of risky to make it bad on purpose, I think. I don't know. She performed Cherry. She performed like National Anthem is forever one of my favorite Lana songs. Like the music video, I remember the experience of watching that for the first time, and like in a way, I wish I could forget everything about Lana so that I could go back and listen to these songs for the first time because watching the National Anthem music video the first time was such an experience and watching her perform it was amazing. She also sang the first verse and chorus of God Bless America and all the beautiful women in it. And it sounds really stupid for me to say it this way, but I didn't realize God Bless America was such a political song, and that's me being oblivious. But when she sang it the way she did, like talking before about how she's afraid to get so political, it like made it stand out as such a political song. Hearing a Lana song for the first time is indeed a magical experience, isn't it though? And like all of these little art pieces she would do, like the music videos, I believe, for Born to Die in Paradise were honestly art. I don't think her music videos now are bad, but they are not the same level as of like cinema quality experiences that her early music videos were. And I really wish she would continue to make these epic ride level music videos, but I don't know, maybe that's just not what she wants to do anymore. But I always will love those. Tropico always holds a special place in my heart. She's amazing. What else did she sing that was cool? At one point, she was like, "What do you guys want to hear? Ultraviolence or Old Money?" And everyone just started screaming, and she couldn't hear anything. So she came down to the front of the crowd and was like, "What was that? What was that?" And then she just shrugged and was like, "Ultra." And then she sang Ultraviolence. It was so good. And then she sang the first verse of Old Money. I also want a Cherry music video. I loved the performance of it live. I think I posted a clip in my Insta story. It should be there. Um, I'm kind of glad I got into Lana a little later so I could watch her videos back to back. Yeah. It's such an experience to just sit there and absorb Lana's content. She's pretty awesome. I think I find it really interesting though that she's as successful as she is, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like the type of music she creates is not the type of music I would expect people to just like be obsessed with, but I'm glad that they are because I mean obviously she deserves it. She was amazing. She sang Lust for Life. She sang the what's it called? The title track off of each album. She ended with Off to the Races, like the rock version that she always does, and it was really good as always. I really liked her backup dancers. I never really noticed backup dancers or singers at her past show. I don't even know if she had them. But this show, there were two girls, and they were really great, and I had a great time watching them. There was one point where Lana got on a swing. She was swinging when she was singing video games. That was really cool. I like that. Have you guys seen Lana live? Like, what was your experience if you've gone? If you just dropped in, they spent the first 10 minutes complaining about the audience and how rude people were. And now we're just talking about Lana herself and how amazing the show was. I I was supposed to put out a video yesterday, and I apologize for not doing that. I was sick earlier in the week, and that's normally when I film, and I didn't have a chance to. But next Thursday's video, hopefully, if I have time to film, is going to be like an in-depth look at Lust for Life, which is such an interesting album to me. It definitely seems like her happiest album by far. It's just beautiful. I'd love a video for Change. Me too. And I didn't dislike Change, but I never really fully appreciated it until I saw it live, and just hearing her sing it. And she like sat down to sing that song and just was sitting off to the side of the stage and just singing it. I don't know. It was really nice. When she sang "And the world was at when the world was at war, we kept on dancing." She did a little speech before about how it was her philosophy, where we can be aware of all these things going on, and we can be more conscious of things going on, but we can still dance and we can still sing. Beautiful people, beautiful problems is underrated. I agree. She was talking, like at one point, literally, she looked at us and was like, I was gonna have a guest here tonight. My friend Sean Lennon was supposed to be here, but he's on the West Coast recording. And I was like, are you we're so close to seeing Tomorrow Never Came live. That would have been amazing. I love that song. People sleep on that song, but it's so good. And I love hers and Sean's voice together. I think it melds so beautifully. And she said before, I don't know which song she sang next. It's like a little disjointed in my head, but she said, like, she's like, I always think of something Sean's mother said, about how she thinks of what her, like, she tries to have good vibrations in the world. She's like, I always try to think what my aesthetic and my vibe is. I'm like, Lana, which is amazing. Yeah, Tomorrow Never Came is wholly underrated. It's so good. Honestly, I really like most of the songs on Lust for Life. I don't know if it's my favorite Lana album, but there is a quality to it that's, I don't know, like Born to Die and Paradise and those albums were so severely nostalgic that they didn't feel as relatable in the same sense that the songs off of Lust for Life do. And it's not that I like one vibe better than the other. It's just that I relate to one in a different way, I guess. I was really excited when she performed Old Money. I honestly forgot how much I loved that song. It's really good. It has a futuristic quality to it. I definitely agree. And it's interesting because the vibe of this tour has been a little bit like 60s space aesthetic. I don't know if that makes sense, but just the way she's been dressing, it just reminds me of the way people back in the day thought people would dress in space in the future. Like not Star Trek. That's a different. My foot's asleep. I'm really sorry. Um, the way I don't know. The aesthetic's really interesting. It's very spacey, futuristic, but still vintage. I love her short hair, though. I've said that earlier, but I love it. But I don't know. I titled this video my third and final Lana show. Sorry, my foot is really asleep. I titled this video my third and final Lana show. I don't know if that's true because I'm such a Lana Del Rey trash that I will pay more money to be in the front. Like next time, I will forget all the lessons I learned this time. But I don't know. It just like put me off of seeing Lana. Again, just because of the way the crowd was. Greta saying, I'm so curious as always. I think the comment faded away. Sorry. On iPhone, they go away, but I think you said something like about wondering what her next album's gonna be. I see. I think it's gonna be like the happiest album she's ever put out because there were a lot of tracks that were supposed to be on Lust for Life, like well, now I forget all of them. Roses Bloom for You or Yosemite songs like that she has mentioned, but songs that are not out on the album because she said they were too happy sounding. And I'm so curious to hear their architecture. That was it. Yeah, all of these songs that she said were too happy. So I feel like it's going to be an even happier album, which will be really interesting coming for Lana because so much of her sound and her aesthetic in the past has been um, at least outwardly, sad Hollywood starlet from the 50s. And it's interesting to see her get empowered. And I definitely felt this record and Lana at the show last night had an emphasis on being empowered, which is really nice to see. Um, I'm trying to think of the song. There was one moment where she was. What song is it? I can't remember. Something about we're in control. Lust for Life, the title track. I can't think of the exact lyric because I honestly just woke up and I'm very tired. I went to see SmackDown live. Is there a crossover between my viewers, Lana Del Rey fans, and wrestling fans? Because I went to go watch wrestling on Tuesday night, recovered on Wednesday, went to see Lana on Thursday night, so I'm really tired. The lyrics in Lust for Life were the basically where she's saying we're in control. What are the lyrics? I'm tired. I'm sorry. But it really just struck me as Lana being we're the masters of our own fate. Is that the lyric? I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry. Let's all pretend I didn't just spill coffee on myself. So I definitely feel like the next record will be even more empowering. I love and happy songs. If she decides to go the happier sound for the next record, I don't know what to expect. That is also how I feel because I think just like logically from how she's talked about it that it will be happier. It's not necessarily what I would expect. I'm sure I'll still love it and buy it like on vinyl as well. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know how to exactly to phrase this, but I don't think Lust for Life was a necessarily happy album. It was the most hopeful album. Yeah, we're the masters of our own fate. We're the captains of our own soul. Whatever it was, it just really stood out to me as like the thesis of this album. I do like that lyric a lot as well. That's kind of like as I'm working on that Lust for Life in-depth video for next week, and that's what I've been thinking about a lot. As a central theme of Lust for Life is not just I'm happy about life, but I'm in control of my life because a lot of her story has been not being in control. Yeah, I also think that what makes one thing that's really special about Lana is how beautiful her like sad songs are. But what's the happiest song Lana has ever put out? What do you guys think? Like the happiest song? In a way, I think it might be Get Free. I really wanted to hear her perform Get Free, but I understand why she's not. That whole situation. I discussed that, I think, 2 weeks ago. The happiest Lana song. I don't know. I think it's got to be something off of Lust for Life. Lust for Life, that is true. I sleep on that song a lot as a happy song, but it is really happy. Not just happy, but like an empowering, I'm in control of my own life song, which I probably should have realized that's what it was before. It was so good. Mm. So, one thing I just thought of. So, I got this general admission wristband when I went, and I didn't really know where to go because I've never been to a show at the Capital One Arena. It's just been renamed that from the Verizon Center, but the Capital One Arena. I've never been to a show where I've been on the floor. So when I went in, they were like, "Go down those stairs." So I had to go down these flight of stairs, like behind, like back behind, and I really thought I was going the wrong way. I don't think Lust for Life is a silly song. I like it. I definitely think it's different. It's not really like anything she's done. I mean, you're totally entitled to your opinion. I'm not telling you you're wrong, but I really like that song. It's just kind of interesting, I guess, to see Lana be so empowered and happy. It's definitely a big departure from Honeymoon. I liked Honeymoon. Did you guys like Honeymoon? Because I think a lot of people say it's like her worst record, but I think it's a beautiful cinematic thing and it just flows together so well. I like Less for Life a lot, but I'm biased because I also stand The Weeknd. I really like The Weeknd song. What are your thoughts on Summer Bummer? I like it. It's not necessarily my favorite track. Uh, it's good. I listen to it. I don't skip it when it comes on. Um, but the whole part would take off your clothes is bad in Lust for Life. I think it goes on for a long time. I like it. I honestly like it, but I think it goes on kind of long. Honeymoon is my favorite Lana album too. Like Ultraviolence is a close second. Um, but Honeymoon Honeymoon is up there. It is really good. I don't understand people's dislike for Honeymoon either. I 100% understand it not being people's favorites, but I don't understand disliking it because even the album, like, I don't know what my least favorite Lana album is. I don't know how I would ever pick because I love them all. But I don't know, like, I don't think she's done anything that's bad. It took time to grow on me, but it's amazing. Honeymoon is perfect, you guys. I'm glad that you guys are on board with Honeymoon because it's so good. Um, I just seeing it live, like the song Honeymoon was really cool. The cinematic quality to the track Honeymoon like still blows me away. It's so good. And I don't know that visual album is the right term for what I wanted for Honeymoon, but I don't know, there was something just so cinematic about it. It really told a story. The comments fading away on iPhone YouTube Live is really annoying, but I think a comment was made about how Ultraviolence was a multi-dimensional album. I really like Ultraviolence. It's really like it's definitely the darkest album she's done, like aesthetically and also thematically in many ways. It's like the most outwardly. I think her New York album actually. Definitely, I think of her albums as different locations and time periods in a sense. And Ultraviolence is a very like New York album. I'm not just saying that because of Brooklyn Baby, but it's a very New York album. Just her aesthetic, the sound, the themes. I don't know. What do you guys think is the central theme of Less for Life compared to the central themes of the past albums? Because that's something I've been thinking about recently. Just Greta's saying because it combines New York and LA. Yeah, like it is. I can't say it's just a New York album because the song West Coast is on there, but that's a song I love, by the way. Like West Coast. I love the West Coast. That's where I'm from. My favorite place to be is anywhere on the West Coast. Not anywhere. A lot of places on the West Coast. But yeah, it is that kind of transitional album, like not stealing, taking elements from both cultures in a sense. It's interesting. I would love it if she would perform like Serial Killer live, like some of her unreleased kind of songs. And Greta's saying, and it puts love and violence into juxtaposition. Yeah, it is an interesting song. The title track, the title, everything it alludes to, it's definitely an interesting one. You guys have all watched Katie's videos on those albums, right? My friend Katie Wawa. If you have not watched her videos on Lana Del Rey, she does like what I could only hope to one day do. Like she does such an amazing in-depth analysis of. She did Born to Die Paradise, I think, and Ultraviolence. And it's just this really interesting analysis where she not only talks about the album, but the influences and the themes. And she's so smart, and you should definitely go watch her videos if you have not already. She's really good. I wish I could make videos like that about albums, but mine's not going to be quite like that. I wish it could be, but I don't know. I feel like she knows a lot more about music than I do. Forget what we're talking about. Um, the blue flame symbol. Wait, elaborate, please. Sorry. Honestly, normally these live streams are like 10 to 15 minutes long, but I'm just excited to talk about Lana. I was hoping to film my Lust for Life video today, but I just can't. I have no time. Like, this is all I have time to do is live stream, and then I have 1,000 things I need to get done. Babysitting tonight, like overnight, which is fun. Love the kids, but I mean, it obviously takes up time, and I can't be at home when I do that. The irony of a flame turning blue when it's reached a certain temperature. Yeah. No, I like. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You can do the Lust for Life video as a live stream. I could, but like, there's certain things I want to talk about and do with it that I don't really. I don't know. Like a live stream might not be the exact format for that. I did do a live stream with Katie where we talked about our first impressions of Lust for Life. I can't remember if it was on my channel or hers, but there's like a 2 or 3 hour live stream out there with Katie and I talking about Lust for Life if you want to go watch that. So I don't know. I really want to like do some kind of analysis. So I love live streams, guys. I really like talking to you guys, but I think the video I want to make is better suited to something pre-filmed and edited. I don't know. I really wanted to put it up yesterday, like on the day I saw Lana, but I just can't. Greta dropped her Born to Die vinyl recently. Oh my gosh, I would have almost died too. Yeah, I haven't even played my lesson. I want to do with it, but you will be able to make sure you turn on my notifications so you get updated when that happens, or follow me on Twitter. That's when I update. Like anything you want to know, any updates will always be on Twitter. Have a nice day as well. Thank you so much. The comment faded before I saw who said that, but have a nice day. And I'll see you guys next time. These are going to be Friday morning things, most Fridays for people who don't know. And it's been fun. I also don't remember how to turn these off, so give me a second. But bye, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Bye. All right. Bye.